Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of my new little series, Lords and Five, which I will be covering in this episode, hypers. Now, pretty much what a hyper is when your castle, when you set up your castle to be producing only one resource. As you can see right here, I have almost all mines to produce all ore, and I'm producing 4.2 million ore an hour, which is a pretty high amount, but ore is one of the slowest that you can collect, so you can imagine the other boosters being a lot faster. So pretty much what we're covering is how do you make a hyper and what you need to focus on to make your hyper accounts. Now, the reason for making hyper is to help your guild produce resources to have a bank, or you want to have multiple accounts and just want to sell resources. That way you can get your account to T4 before without even having to spend money. This is what you need to focus on. So number one, you need to focus on buildings. As you can see, you're gonna make all your buildings or most of your buildings to produce only one resource. This makes it that each building that you just have a big base production as starting off. Next up on research, you want to focus on having your economy. Whatever research you're gonna focus on, try to max it out as much as you can for your academy level. And then you're on level 2, work on the familiar one, which is the harvesting level 2, which is where you have the second portion of the research for hypering. Next thing, you need to focus on heroes. Now, if for each resource type there's a certain hero, like right here we have Rose Knight. If you go right here to their battle skills, you can see right here how she has timber production 150% at gold, and you want to focus getting those heroes at rank 7. Rank 7 with making them gold. That way you can increase production. There's 2 familiars for every resource we have, and I'll be showing the pictures on screen as I'm going around. Next thing you need to focus on is familiars. Now there's also again 2 familiars for each on the production side, and as you can see right here we have it's usually the pack 1 familiars. So right here we have wood production, we have stone production, we have ore production, and then on the other one is where we have the food production as well as the gold production right here. Now pretty much you want to go and focus on those familiars, getting them to Elder and level 60, and then focusing on the next set of familiars, which is on pack 2, which also have their own version of a production. And as well, I would recommend this to always also get Evil Weevil. Now the reason for this is because you can get an extra 4 hours of production. So with me, instead of producing just 4.2 million or an hour for 24 hours in a day, I produce that much for 28 hours in a day, because I get an extra 4 hours of every time I get the familiar skill use. Next up, you want to focus on your talents. Now, talent wise, you want to put all your points into just one thing, because you're too dispersed. Like, you're only gonna be getting 20% here, 20% there, when you could be getting 288% from one of them, another 280%, another this here, another 48% from another one, and 12% from this one. So those percentages really stack up, and they just really do make a difference on how much you produce. Next up is equipment. As you can see right here, I have the items for ore, which is only the boots and then the vials. Now pretty much once you got the vials, for each one you want to see what equipment your a certain resource requires. You can go to your equipment in your armory, click on one of them, select filters, and put whichever filter you want. So I go production and go through each and every single one of them to see what piece produces gold. As you can see, there's not every piece, not every production has a piece for everything. After that, you also want to focus on your castle as well, because your default castle skin, I don't know if you know this, but your default castle skin right here, it has a increased 10% increase production on your resource. When 10%, when you want to hyper a lot of resources, 10% does stack up. Next up, you also in your castle boost, you pretty much just any kind of food production, store production, timber production, like any boost depending on what you're gonna focus on. And once you have these, that you can get a lot of them from just opening gifts, and 25% is the biggest one. If not, you can always purchase it, of course, with your when you're in your guild shop, and you can purchase 7-day ones in the guild shop in case you just don't want to worry about it and just purchase one and set it up for 7 days. And it's not that expensive. You can see right here is 20,000, which is half a day of helps on a regular day. so you don't really lose too much progress when you're making the 7-day production. And I'll be putting, as I said earlier, I'll be showing on screen little images that help, that give you all the information of how much you can produce, and all these images are provided by HefBot. I'll be leaving in the description down below how you can add HefBot to get more, to help you out. And I might make a video on HefBot, but I don't think you mean needing a video. Everyone nowadays knows how HefBot is. And that's pretty much it. That's what hyperraining is. Just focus everything on producing one resources, and you'll be making a lot. As you can see, the base right now, each mine only makes 22,000, but because of the production, one mine makes 150,000, and that's a big boost as it is. And as you see, I don't even have my ore production boost on. If I did have it on, I would be making 4.3, and my production goes 5,000 up per each. So just 5,000 on each. Just having one more would make me go up to 4.6 million production. If I were to remove this farm to do it. That's pretty much it. Hope you understood the video. I hope you got information, and if you really like the video, please press like, leave a comment you want for me to if you want for me to do a video on a specific thing, and don't forget to subscribe. And thank you. Peace.